information or the most relevant information about Module 1. I'm not saying the other information is not relevant, but the mostly information that you should know when it comes to catering theory and practical. So as I always say to my student as we start, always have a pen and a scribbler so that whatever I'm discussing, you are noting it down. So this is going to help you to structure the points that I will be sharing into your own understanding English, but then you will see that, oh, okay, these are the main key points. So whatever we'll be discussing, it consists of keys, points that you need. So however, my sentences won't be constructed as your sentences, as I always say. But then yeah, so module 1, part number 1. So culinary and cooking terms. So culinary and cooking terms. So number 1, we got gratin or gratined. A gratin guys, the pronunciation hits me the most because these are French term, and even if I go and translate and listen to the translation, I still get them wrong. I don't know why. I've been trying to get this before this video, but then I still fail. I will repeat them, but as time goes, I will still fail to pronounce them. But yeah, number 1, okay, here is the spelling. It's AUGRATIN, or gratin, or you can say gratinated. Gratinated, it's GRATINATED. So gratin or gratinated or gratinated refers to dishes that are covered with a sauce sprinkled with breadcrumbs. So okay, these are what they are terms. So yeah, okay, let me just explain them first. Then bain marie, BAINMARIE, bain marie. So a bain marie is a container with the water to keep food warm without burning it. So bain marie, when you bain marie, it's you insert a little bit of water inside your baking tray. You insert a little water inside your baking tray. So I believe that you have done bain marie when you were cooking apple crumble. Yeah, so you have done a little bit of that to keep it warm without burning it. So baking blind, you also did it when you were doing your apple crumble, whereby you insert seeds inside your tart case. Whereby you were submerging the beans so that to prevent the tart case rising. So yeah, then basting is to, when you are basting, is to let the term here, it says, is to ladle fat or juice over a roast during the cooking process. So when you are basting, you introduce flavor onto your meat. That's basting. You'll find some people, they will be pouring Coke, but Coke is mostly used to clean, as I know. Then when they are basting, they use juice or fat. So when you see someone pours a juice inside a roasting full chicken, that means they are basting it. So that's the cooking term, basting. So blanching. I think you are more familiar with this one. So blanching is we normally do it mostly at our households. So blanching is to submerge food in a fast boiling water for 1 to 2 minutes, then rapidly cool it down. So when you blanching, you expose meat into a hot boiling water, then you take it out and let it cool. Normally we do this often to when we're about to fry chicken, we first blanch it, then we take it to cool, then we marinate and what so not. So browning is the surface of the food by the application of dry heat. So browning, it's mostly when food turns brown or golden brown. That is browning. So you know that when they say browning refers to the effect of heat on food to turn golden brown or brown. You can just say that. And caramelize. This one is more interesting, so you don't want to miss this. So what is to caramelize? Caramelize is the effect of heat on sugar melted at 155 degrees Celsius. Please note that down. Melted at 155 degrees Celsius is the effect of dry heat. Caramelize is the effect of dry heat. So why am I emphasizing this mostly? Is because there is caramelizing and genitalization. So they share similar sentences, but they differ in terms of cooking method. So caramelization, it refers to dry heat on sugar, causing it to smelt into a syrup at 155 degrees Celsius. So that is to caramelize. That means is the effect of dry heat causing food to change color, to change its original texture. So then when you go to the coagulation, what is coagulation? Coagulation is the process of forming new bindings in protein. So we normally experience coagulation when we prepare our eggs. Our eggs, they always coagulate. So as you break the egg, it will be in a sort of liquid form. Then suddenly it forms bindings. That means it connects. It becomes solid. It no longer. I don't know what term I can use so that you can have this picture. Like the egg, when you break, it's sort of like liquid. Then as it exposed to heat, it will start forming bindings. That means it coagulates. It's no longer gonna be a form of liquid, but rather a form of solid. So it binds, it creates new bindings. So this is mostly experience in proteins by heating them up. So cooking medium is the air fed water or steam in which food is cooked. So cooking medium, when you cook medium, you use the air fed water or steam in which food is cooked. That means when you cook medium, you cook food using steam, or you cook food using fat. That's cooking medium. You cook. Okay, what is it that we normally cook using steam? Okay, before you can steam your chicken using just steam. boiling it or sauteing it, but just cooking medium. What is cooking medium? So cooking medium refers to the type of cooking method that you use. So as I've said, that if they say cooking method, cooking medium, it is a way how food is being prepared. So it can be either prepared using water, using air, using oil, or more than one thing. So basically cooking medium is sort of like the technique that you use to achieve food texture. How you achieve the food texture, it refers to the cooking medium. So if you will check that when you are using water, your meat is more likely to be white. So that means if someone would ask, how did you achieve to cook this breast so white, then you would know that you will tell the person that I use the cooking medium method that I use was water. That means it was anything to deal with moisture and heat. So it was achieved through water. So you bake, you grill. So when someone asks how did this meat turn so tender and soft and so dry and nice, then you know that my cooking method was air or either oil. That means the chicken was roasted through air. When I say air, I refer to the oven. Or when I say oil, it's like deep frying. That refers to KFC. When you want to achieve KFC is cooked through oil, too much oil. Then as for the grilling and baking, so you know that no, I used air. So as we move, those were the cooking methods and examples. Those are the cooking method and food examples. So I'm not done. I think I'm going to discuss one the terms that they normally ask in an exam. This term they could be 6 marks, or we will find maybe they will be 8 marks. So when it comes to these terms now, these terms they define the cooking medium. So when you are cooking, so it's sort of like we use these terms, but we never knew what these terms were. So the first one will be simmering. So what is simmering? To simmer, food is cooked at temperature between 85 degrees and 90 degrees Celsius, low boiling point. So when you are simmering, that means food is cooked with water at the minimum temperature of 85 to as maximum as 90 degrees Celsius. So you would know that simmering is food is cooked at a temperature between 85 and 90 degrees. That's your marks for just saying that simmering, the minimum temperature for simmering is 85 degrees Celsius. Maximum temperature for simmering is 90 degrees. So anything between 85 to 90 degrees. So it is the temperature that is being used to cook food. That means when you're using that kind of temperature, using water, you are simply simmering. So what I would advise is that try to cook something at that temperature, so that when you're cooking it, you will note it down that now I'm simmering at 85 to 90 degrees. So you won't forget it easily, because you would have done it practically. So then the other one is pouching. What is pouching? Pouching refers to the combination of boiling and steaming below 85. Now, the interesting part about pouching is that it is below simmering. If you know that simmering starts from 85, I know that pouching, it's below simmering. So pouching, its max, it's 85. So anything less than 85, that's pouching. So pouching temperature does not exceed 85 degrees Celsius. So we are simply robbing the marker here by giving him short description of what he asked. So basically, for you to tell that pouching is a combination of boiling and steaming, that's 1 mark. Then the steaming below 85 degrees Celsius, that's another mark. You already have got your 2 points on a short sentence. So sometimes that is why I always encourage people to summarize their notes. Summarize your notes, especially using the 1-page method. That truly works. Use 1-page method. So I'm still going to share tips on how to study, tips on how to ensure that you remember things for a certain period. So then we come to the third one. What is boiling? Boiling, we all know that, but we don't know the temperature. So when you are boiling, note this down, that everything that is at boiling point is at 100 degrees. Your kettle, when you are boiling water, it boils water up to 100 degrees. So I think this will be easy for you to go and boil water and record saying that the water is now at 100 degrees Celsius. So as soon as you do that, you already let the 100 degrees Celsius sink. Whenever you see boiling now, 100 degrees Celsius will eventually pop up out of your mind, because you have recorded while the water was boiling. So when you are boiling food, food is boiling at 100 degrees Celsius in a pot or a sauce. So steaming. So when we are steaming, we normally use water vapor, or moisture temperature to cook food. As you know, when you are steaming, guys, mostly what is being used, it is steam. So when you are steaming, you use water vapor, or you use moist to cook food. You use moist to cook food, or you use temperature to cook food. So combi steaming. What is combi steaming? This one, combi steaming. When they say combi steaming, all you have to say to the marker is that combi steaming requires special oven. Combi steaming, it is done on a special design oven. That's it. You just say that. They will mark you 2 marks, or normally they're gonna allocate 2 marks for each description. So as soon as you say that, what is combi steaming? So combi steaming, you cannot do it with a pot. You cannot do it. So combi steaming, it requires a specially advanced machine that does combi steaming. So already when you know that, when you see combi steaming, maybe the marker, the examiner might want to see if you can differentiate between steaming and combi steaming. So caterers, basically, they like they like asking things that are similar to see if you understand. So the examiner might want to see if you understand what is steaming and what is combi steaming. So already as you go to attack that exam, you will tell the marker that no, combi steaming, it is performed or it is done on a special oven. But as for steaming, it is normally obtained using water vapor or moist temperature. So as soon as you say that you get your 4 marks, sometimes you might find that to differentiate the two, they can allocate 4 marks for that. So those are the marks that we should get as possible. So you need to have your strength, guys. Some things that when they come up on an exam, you need to know that this one I'm gonna chow it, this one I'm gonna chop it. So like you as you tackle the exemption, when such question pop up, you should already have your strength. As I'm saying that when I summarize this, I'm not summarizing the full book. I'm into detail of what I see that is normally being asked. So as you tackle the exam too, you need to focus on what is being asked. So you can check previous papers that you will see there is a pattern. So even if the examiner puts something that we didn't discover, it won't be as much as this that we are covering, guarantee you. So you can go check. So if ever they add something, you will find that maybe it will cost you 8 marks, and regardless of that 8 marks, it's not like you are not gonna get anything. So there's a possibility of that 8 marks could be some of the things that you have seen, because normally I think they're gonna put equipment in terms of reducing your marks, in terms of wanting to see if you really know what in catering. Maybe they might put cooking equipment and say name and explain. So when that comes, you don't know it, then probably it might be 6 marks, 8 marks. It's not bad because already we have 90% on your exemption. So as I said, combi steaming is done using a specially designed oven. So now we are at pressure steaming. So pressure steaming, now food is brought to the boiling point in the pressure cooler with a lid. So when you are pressure steaming, that means you expose food into a boiling point. That means as soon as you are done boiling water, you take whatever you want to steam, you put it inside as ASAP, then you close with the lid. That's pressure steaming. Because steaming, you know that when I'm steaming, you just turn the stove or oven on. As it starts boiling, then you turn off the heat, so it will boil at the temperature. But on this one, on pressure steaming, it's done differently. So you first boil water, then you expose your food inside that boiled water, and you close with the lid. That's your 2 marks, easy one. So stewing, guys, when you're cooking stew, if you don't know how to cook stew, then when you're stewing, do this method. Take when you're stewing, it's a slow cooking method combining and steaming. Lid added with a solid what? components. So this one, how is it done? Let me say I'm stewing my chicken breast. So what am I going to do is that I'm going to fill the water into my saucepan, not much water, quarter, not even a quarter, like the chicken have to float. The chicken does not necessarily have to be inside the water. It has to be at the half point of the chicken. So then I add my beef stock or my stock, then I close. So simply when I'm doing that, I'm stewing at a lower temperature. So as soon as I keep on adding other components, let's say if ever now my chicken breast has started to change, I start adding soup. Then after adding soup, I add water, I close. The soup cooks. When it's fine again, I add spice, I close. I add a little bit of water, I close. That's cooking slow. Doing things one at a time, closing the lid. Not at a high temperature, but medium heat or lower heat. You use lower heat or medium heat to get the perfect dish out of stewing. Stewing is STEWING. So you should have known the term. So bake. When we refer to bake, they like it. They like this one. I think I've seen it in almost every question paper. What is baking? What is baking like? As I've said, the examiner, they like testing. If you know what you are doing in the kitchen, they will ask you, what is to bake? To bake is not putting flour, mixing, and taking it to the oven. And like guys, when they ask this question, as I'm saying, yeah, this should be your strength when it comes to exam. Already these things that I've discussed with you, you know that these ones, even if they come out with a very difficult English, I'm still going to answer the way I know them. So basically, sometimes the examiner likes to confuse you, giving you case studies, but the question is straight. It's asking you about these things, not the case study. They will never ask you about the case study, not unless it's applied. But catering, normally the case study, it is there to distract you. So bake food is placed on an open dish to bake to specific temperature. So when you are baking, you place your food on an open dish and to baking with a specific temperature. So that's current baking. So when you are baking, we bake with different temperature on an open space. So grilling or broiling, to grill or to broil, food is grilled over and under direct heat. So when you are grilling, let's make an example of you grilling using your oven. Obviously, nowadays our ovens have a grilling option. So what you will see when you select grilling option is that you will notice that the oven, the both elements from the top and the bottom element, you will see them. They will be red or orange. That means they are both on. So basically, when you are grilling, you're using both elements. You're using both elements to grill over or under heat. So okay, now we go to the difference between sauteing and sauteing. sauteing and sauteing, the difference between these. And also this one, the examiner likes to test students every semester. You will find that the examiner likes to question students every semester about this question, the difference between sauteing and sauteing. So basically the examiner would likes to see the whether you know the difference between the two. So I think I have explained it before, but I'm going to explain it again. So basically the important points when you see this kind of question, I told you that the sentence is often starts the same way, but how it ends, it's different. So how does it differ? So during sauteing, food must turn golden brown and soft. So food is cooked, but the ending of sauteing, it should be golden brown. Then the other one is that if ever food is cooked during sauteing, it must be soft and not discolor. So basically, for you to tell the market that the food is not supposed to discolor, it is cooked on a dry heat or on a moist heat. So basically on sauteing, food must be soft and not discolored. That means you are cooking using moist. But the other one, which is sauteing, food must turn golden brown and soft. That means it is exposed to dry heat at 155 degrees Celsius. It must not it must change to golden brown. So temperature could be used for the both of sauteing and sauteing. So but how sauteing is that it is a dry heat. Point number one, it is cooked, food is exposed on a dry heat, causing it to change color at 155 degrees Celsius. That means the marker already will allocate your 3 marks. Already he or she sees that you know what you are talking about. Then you also tell her or him that when you are sauteing, food is exposed to moist heat, causing it to swell and be soft, and it shouldn't discolor. For you saying they already have your 3 marks. So imagine if this question was 6 marks and you only know the shortcuts, which they don't carry the full points of what is being required. So as we go for a healthy cooking, so a healthy cooking, now when we are talking about the healthy cooking, there is an abbreviation which is WHO, which refers to World Health Organization. So WHO refers to World Health Organization. These things you might find out you are taking them lightly, but when they come out you will regret because you would have seen them in your textbooks. So imagine if you don't know what is WHO, and as simple as it is, they are allocating 2 marks for it. Guys, 2 marks is a lot. Some of the students, they would normally wish for that 2 marks. So in an exam, you make sure that you collect all the marks. Your aim as you write, at least you must be at a level where you say, okay, I can get 10 wrong. Be confident with the 90% of what you have wrote, and say, okay, even if I failed, even if some of the things I didn't get correct, I'm still going to fall in the distinction level, which is 80 something. So you shouldn't aim to pass, and when you are writing, the aim is to pass. But how to pass, you should aim to collect all the information, especially things that you know. You should aim to get them all right. So health cooking who refers to the World Health Organization. It is a state of complete physical, mental, and social well-being. So the types of vegans, the types of vegetarians. So another one, as I told you earlier, was that catering, all the hospitality courses, they share genetic, which is they carry something similar. They carry something similar in everything. So the types of vegetarians, these things you will find them in nutrition. You can find them in nutrition, the types of vegetarians. So people, I still fail to understand how can you not describe the types of vegetarian. The types of vegetarian should be your full strength. These are the things that when they come out, you shouldn't hesitate. You shouldn't be like, oh, conjure, over vegetarian. You shouldn't be like struggling to think. When they come this question, you should be as quick as possible. Even you won't necessarily have to spend 1 minute or even more than 10 minutes doing this question. So the first one that I noted down was lacto-vegetarian. So lacto-vegetarian, you see lacto refers to what? To milk. Already when you see lacto, you know that this person is more likely to eat dairy product as well as plant food, but he does not eat what? Eggs and red meat. So lacto does not eat eggs and red meat, but he eats what? Dairy products and plant foods. Then the ovo refers to what? To eggs. Already when you say ovo, this one will include eggs. Ovo vegetarians. So ovo vegetarians do not eat dairy products. So this one, they do not consist of lactose food. That means they do not intake dairy products, but they eat eggs and plant food, and they do not eat red meat or white meat. So basically, this is they try to make it easier for you to remember the types of vegetarian, how they were constructed in such a manner whereby you will be able to explain by just seeing the key points: lacto ovo. So when it's lacto ovo, you know that this vegetarian consists of lacto and ovo. So lacto, he takes milk and he also eats egg. But what does he not eat or she not eat? She doesn't consume red meat. But he or she takes these two. So vegetarians, strictly vegetarians, you know that they do not eat milk. They do not eat any animal product. They rely on plants. So strictly vegetarians, they do not consist of other animal parts in their diet, but rather they eat strictly plant. They feed on strictly plants. So lacto ovo pesco, as I've said, so the pesco in this one now includes meat. But what kind of a meat does this one eat? He eats white meat, poultry. This could be fish, this could be chicken, So when they say lacto ovo pesco, already you know lacto, the vegetarian, consists of milk, ovo consists of egg, pesco consists of meat, white meat. He eats white meat but does not eat. So you would know that when it's lacto ovo pesco, vegetarians, these ones, they in their diet they consist of milk, they eat eggs, they eat white meat, but they do not eat red meat. So that's how simple they have made it to be, for you to easily describe. So pesco vegetarians, they follow vegetarian diets, but they also include fish or white meat. As I've said, pesco, you see, the terms that you should mark is lacto, ovo, pesco. So already, if you know those three key words, lacto, ovo, pesco, you already know that when you see lacto, that means it consists of milk, ovo consists of eggs, pesco consists of white meat. So white meat could be fish or poultry. So you know that if it's pesco, already you're gonna tell the marker that this one relies on white meat and plants, but do not eat red meat. So that's basically how simple it can be. So you shouldn't be writing wrong things on types of vegetarians. You shouldn't be thinking a lot when it comes to this question. This question shouldn't convince you. So this should be your strength. So okay, this one, it might come, it might not come, but it is, I feel like you need to know. So here's the thing of knowing what has been asked, knowing what has happened in history. It will benefit you in such a way that even if it comes to the future, you will have already had a solution. Because imagine the first time they ask most common allergies, and I bet that some people fail this easy question, fail to organize the common allergies that happens on a daily basis. So as you all know that we are not all allergic persons. So imagine if you are not allergic, you don't know what you wouldn't be able to describe what allergy is, because you are not allergic. Someone who is allergic, even if this question comes, he won't get zero, like you who's not allergic. Because of you are not allergic, you wouldn't know what food causes allergy, what is the mostly common allergy. So if you eat this, food will allergy you to have this and that. So common allergies is that if you eat nuts, some people, their body react towards nuts. So their body will react. Shellfish, it causes the body to react. Dairy product, because it also causes body to react on certain individuals, not all, but on certain individuals. So also eggs, there are some people that do not eat eggs at all, because they are so allergic to them that even if they eat something that consists of egg, they suddenly have something like this, some sort of disorder. So soya beans, some people don't eat soya beans due to allergical conditions. So wheat and gluten, also some people do not intake food that are higher in gluten or wheat. You will find that they have reaction towards too much gluten in food. So general cooking tips. So when we are talking about general cooking tips, we are going to be discussing on the general things that takes place when we are cooking food. So this one, it should also be your strength, because the examiner, bear in mind that the examiner wants to test if you know what you've been doing in the kitchen. This was a catering. It's very straight and it's very straightforward. But even if it's straightforward, you should know the things that you've been doing. You should know the language of the kitchen. That's basically we are learning the language of the kitchen in catering. But we know this, but not in the way that if ever we were asked, we were gonna be able to tell. But now, because that we are learning this language that is happening in the kitchen, so we are going to be able to discuss it. We are going to be able to explain it. No, this is not this. This is this. This is that. So general tips, general cooking tips. General cooking tips. The first one is to select ingredients that are high in nutritional value. You know that when you cook food, all your food should consist of food that are high in nutritional value. So what are food that are high in nutritional value? We find that food that is at best quality, it consists of higher nutritional value. It consists of quality nutrients from it. So when you are storing cooking tips, when you are storing and preparing food, the aim is to preserve the flavor. So food should not smell bad, guys. You know, when you're cooking food, the aim of cooking food is to achieve odor. To achieve odor, which is the smell. Imagine if you were to eat something like raw, while we were not used for eating raw food. Do you think we will enjoy the food? No. So the general tip for us to cook food is that to add flavor, to achieve flavor in food. So the other one is that to steam or boil your food. So when you're steaming, so that food can be soluble. So you know that when food is raw, it's very hard to digest. So basically, the other general cooking tip is that we cook food so that it can boil to be easy to swallow or to swell or soft. Then we carefully manage the amount of fresh plant based on dishes. So we play with various plants so that to enrich the food texture and food nutritional value. So the other one is we include a variety of fresh plant based. As I said, we don't cook only food with certain vegetables, but we use all variety of vegetables to achieve good texture of food. Then the other one is that when we are general cooking tip is to always avoid adding too much salt where is unnecessary. So instead of you using salt, they always say that quality chefs don't use salt, they use spices. So play with spices than salt. Salt, yes, you can sprinkle the salt, but as little bit as it is, spice should be obtained highly. So due to other reasons, that